deck has 3 forms of removal. You are drawing 2 additional cards. You are searching multiple hand traps, and you have insane follow-up.
This is easily the best version of Tri-Brigade to date. Hi, team! Happy Friday, my fuzzy friends! Today we have probably the most highly requested deck profile in the last week on our channel, and that is branded Tri-Brigade.
Just like every other deck, with the release of the Albaz Strike Structure deck, this deck got a ton of support. You can't argue, though, that with the direct support in this deck, Tri-Brigade just got miles better than the competition.
With that being said, we also just put up a generic Tri-Brigade deck profile up about 2 weeks ago, so if you're into that version, make sure you go check that video as well. We also explain a lot more of the cards, whereas in this version, we're going to focus more on the branded stuff and kind of speed things through. However, we will be doing a full combo and test hand with the branded package at the end of this video, so make sure you stick around and see how this deck works with the new branded engine included. So with all that being said, make sure you subscribe to the channel, join the sub squad, hit the notification bell, and like the video, and feel free to comment any deck profiles you'd like us to update this format, and if you're playing this deck, and if you like it. Also, really side note, just make sure you go follow us on Twitter. We are doing a giveaway on Twitter today for hitting 2K, so if you're not following us on Twitter, feel free to do that, but let's just get right into the deck, shall we?
So obviously, we are starting off with triple copies of Rescue Cat.
He's the Tri-Brigade starter by day and the Rescuer Feline by night.
Literally just your best starter card in the deck. This is a 1-card Ferrogy.
This card in itself is full combo, and don't worry, you'll always have Gamma, so they're not stopping this puppy. Or kitty. Meow.
And then for the Tri-Brigades, we are on triple copies of Fractal, triple copies of Nervall, triple copies of Kit, double copies of Karis.
So at this point, everybody knows what the Tri-Brigade cards do. However, surprisingly enough, in the structure deck, we did get Tri-Brigade support. I know you wouldn't think so, but there is one little birdie that wants to make himself known now in the deck. And this card is Tri-Brigade Mercurier. It's Tri-Brigade Bird. I love him. He's adorable.
This card brings a huge buff to the deck because it has 2 relevant effects. The first of which is when your opponent activates a monster effect while you control a fusion monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz as its fusion material. Quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or face up field to the graveyard and negate that effect. And then the second effect is if this card is banished, you can add 1 Fallen of Albaz or monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz in its text from your deck to your hand. This is a searchable hand trap. This card gets you access to the brand new branded engine.
And he's absolutely precious. Look at that sweet boy. Also, did you know that he's actually been on the artwork for Shrig all along? We'll smack Shrig on the screen. Look at that. He's so cute. He's been hiding all along. And if you play Master Duel, when you summon Shrig, he kind of like tweets around Shrig, in case you didn't notice that. You're welcome.
And then moving off to our branded engine, we are on the 1 copy of Albion the Shrouded Dragon.
I'll be honest, this is one of the prettiest super rares I think Konami has ever printed. Look at how beautiful he is. I just really like the way this card looks. Let me know if you agree.
Gonna put him back on screen there
sorry,
so that they can see him and agree.
Sorry, team.
And then obviously, because we are playing the branded stuff, we are playing the 1 copy of Fallen of Albaz, our 1 copy of branded Sword, and then double copies of branded Fusion. Now, I know that double copies of branded Fusion may sound a little bit weird. I don't think there's anything wrong with 1. I don't think there's anything wrong with 3. I just think it comes down to personal preference, and we will explain why we are playing 2 copies later on in the profile.
Also, shout out to the quality control. The printing on this is really light. I don't know if y'all noticed this in your structure decks, but branded Fusion's printed like really light on some of them, so that's great. But this is branded Fusion, in case you didn't know. Fallen
of Albaz is just a deck requirement because you obviously need it for your branded Fusion. Albion the Shrouded Dragon has the effect where you can reveal it in your hand, send a copy of a branded spell or trap card from your deck to your graveyard, and then place this card on the bottom of your deck and draw 1 card. And the reason that we are playing the Sword is because in the graveyard, your Sword can activate, banishing itself, and then target a banished monster that has Fallen of Albaz in its text, and then add that card to your hand. I know it sounds a little convoluted, but we will just demonstrate the combo at the end.
So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned. And then moving on to the really hot one-ofs in this deck, we're playing 1 copy of Tri-Brigade Revolt, because that's all you need in this deck. We're playing 1 copy of Tenki, because that's all we need in this just Ash Bait, I guess. And then we're playing 1 Call by the Grave, because it's a really good stacky one of that. You know, I am a professional laying these cards out, team. This is the 3rd take, just roll with it, alright? And then speaking of Call by being at 1, we're playing triple copies of Cross Out Designator Daddy, because why not have 1 copy when you can have 4? Yeah, you can tell I don't really present the cards in this deck.
And in case you have not figured out, Branded is going to be running rampant at any and every event that you go to. So playing triple copies of Crossout Designator with the massive amount of hand traps is how we are trying to stop our branded opponents, which is why we are playing double copies of Branded Fusion, because man, does it feel insanely great to resolve your Verte and then cross out your opponent's Branded Fusion.
And I think with the branded format, Crossout Designator is just so good in any mirror type matchup.
And then speaking of Called by the Grave, we are playing our 7th copy because we are playing the Gamma package. This just always ensures that your Rescue Cat is resolving along with triple copies of Ash,
forehead not feet,
double copies of Bell, 1 Crow, 1 Ogre, 1 Veiler, 1 Nib, and double Imperm.
And as always, one of the really nice things about Tri-Brigade is they can play the entire gambit of hand traps. This is a hand trap heavy deck, as you can very much see. And obviously the 1-ofs or the 2-ofs are very good cross-out targets because you kind of need cross-out in this deck. It's absolutely a powerhouse. The 1-ofs are definitely cross-out targets. DD Crow is searchable in this deck, which is really, really nice. And if you're wondering why there's 2 Imperm, it was either, you know, we're already at 41, we don't really want to play 42 and bump it up, and we decided to opt for the 1 Ogre as opposed to 3 Imperm because there's always that one person playing the Ogre and we want to have the cross-out target for it. So it was better safe than sorry.
And for the extra deck, we are playing the obvious Tri-Brigade Link Monster, the Almirage, the double copies of Ferrigit. This card is probably a 1-of in this build. However, in the grind game, I think the second one actually comes up and definitely warrants the second slot.
And she's also gorgeous as a Starlight.
We're playing our 1 copy of Bearbrum, 1 copy of Ancient Warriors Double Dragon Lords, 1 copy of Verte Anaconda. Now I know, we don't want to play Verte, you don't want to play Verte, Konami wants us to play Verte. Unless they ban this card is super broken. I really think that this is just unfortunately one of those deck requirements moving forward.
So if they do hit Verte, great. But if they don't, I'll be sad but unsurprised.
And then moving right along to our Link 3s, we are playing the 1 copy of Harris Velger, our good Doom Eagle.
Desperate Doom Eagle.
The 1 copy of our Silver. I do think that this card is kind of the flex spot in the deck. However, this with your combination of Shiraig is kind of how we beat back row matchups, which, speaking of, double copies of Shiraig.
Oh my god, look at here. Learning moment. I know he's the secret rare, so it's kind of hard to tell, but like, look at, you can see him. He's there. Oh god, he's freaking secret rare, but you can see him. He's a little yellow dot.
It's also like right there too, if we're, you know, being...
Wait, are there multiple?
There's multiple birds.
There's more birds? Spoiler, there's one in the corner too. There are many birds. Shiraig is a bird daddy. God, he just gets better and better every day.
Speaking of birds, here's a bear, Tapaloosa. 1 copy of Access Code, and then moving on for our fusion package, we're playing our 1 copy of Albion the Branded Dragon, our 1 copy of Mirror Jade Blade, the Drain Ice Drain.
Ice Jade, not Ice Jade Blade Dragon.
And then our 1 copy of Brigand the Glory Dragon.
This card's for if you hard open Branded Fusion, and you know, this just makes this, so this guy's the quick effect banish. You just send from the extra deck to go pop, pop, lock, and drop it, and then in the end phase, if he's like destroyed or whatever, he can just Raigeki the board. That's pretty nice.
And the reason we're playing the Brigand Dragon, for anyone who does not know, is that at the end phase of the turn, if the card is sent there, you can add an additional Tri-Brigade name from your deck to your hand through Revolt, giving you even more follow-up.
Imagine, it's crazy that these cards actually search Tri-Brigade stuff. I love support. That's really nice. It's not all about you, Albaz. Now that we've walked you through the deck, let's go into a combo tutorial and test hand and show you guys the actual sealing of this deck with a 5-card test hand. Hi, welcome to the test hand part of the video. We like to do a random 5-card test hand with a realistic showing of what the sealing of the deck is, how it plays with any 5 cards, so that those who are learning the deck can know actually what they're doing, and if you're trying to play against the deck, you can see the lines of play and maybe find some choke points. So with that being said, we're going to cut, shuffle, get right into this puppy, but make sure you subscribe because we will have a lot of deck profiles up soon. Thanks, appreciate it. Wow, mouthful.
Let's do a couple more of these and we'll go. Alright,
yeehaw, Shiraig for game, baby.
Alright, we are going to start off our hand with Effect Mailer. Nice little one up there.
Shout out to that.
Karis, sick little extender. Cross out Designator.
Meow.
Wow, insane. Rescue Cap. Everyone's favorite card. Let's go. All right, so we have Cross out Designator here. We also have the Karis for extension. I know that, you know, obviously we can only play through 1 hand trap here with Cross out, but once we combo off, we are going to be drawing 2 additional cards. So we're going to start off here with normal summoning our Rescue Cat. We're going to activate the effect. This is going to grab us a copy of our kit and a copy of our Karis. Now these are just going to link into our Ferrigit, and now we can activate our kit's effect because it was sent to the graveyard. This will send our Nerval, and then we can activate our Nerval's effect to search. Nerval can search any Tri-Brigade name here, but we're just going to search our Fractal. Once again, if you do have an additional Tri-Brigade name here, this is where you will search the Karis, because even if you activate the Ferrigit's effect now and they imperm it or they Veiler it, that's fine. You can just activate the Karis, pitching another card, and continually play from there without having to use your cross-out Designator. But once again, for demonstration purposes, we're going to activate our Ferrigit to special from the hand. We will special summon our Fractal, and now we can activate Fractal's effect, banishing 4 for cost. This is going to get us our Shiraig. Believe it or not, we're not actually going to activate Shiraig. We're just going to leave him here.
You don't want to banish your own cards, bro?
Nah, I'm good. We're going to actually take these 2, though, and link summon. This is going to make our copy of Bearbrum, and now we can activate our copy of Omen because it went to the graveyard. We do have 4 names banished. So here's where we're going to finally search our Tri-Brigade Mercurier.
Baby bird.
For any of y'all who may have seen the alternative Tri-Brigade profile a couple weeks ago, we actually utilized this effect, and we're going to do that one more time. We're going to activate our Bearbrum's effect. We're going to pitch the Mercurier and the driver because it's live engraven. Why do you want this card? That's gonna allow us to special back any Tri-Brigade name that we haven't already used. I'm gonna special back the Kit here, and now we can activate Kit's effect, banishing 2 for cost. Make sure you banish Mercurier. It doesn't really matter which other name you banish. I'll probably just banish Fractal, but Mercurier is key to banish here. This summons out our double Dragon Lords, and now the Mercurier, because it was banished, will activate. This is gonna search our Albion with the Shrouded Dragon because it does have Fallen of Albaz in its text. So now we can actually activate the Albion in our hand. We'll send our branded sword from our deck to our graveyard, shuffle up a little bit here, and then our Albion will place himself on the bottom and we will draw 1 card. That's not a bad card there. Now we're gonna activate our branded sword. It will banish itself, and it will add back our Tri-Brigade Mercurier from our banish pile to our hand. We have a full board here. We're not even done playing. We have Crossout Designator, double hand traps now. Mercurier will act as an additional hand trap, and now we can make everyone's favorite play. Boom, there he is.
Sing it with me, everybody. Make Verte. You did it. Great job. You activated skill.
Now we can activate the Ferrigit's effect because it went to the graveyard. We can draw 1 card and then put another card back on the bottom of our deck. I honestly feel like we're gonna have enough follow-up here. We also have to put a card back for our Revolt search, so we're just gonna put the Kit back even though we just drew it. Now we can activate Verte Anaconda, paying 2,000 life points. This sends our branded fusion from our deck to our graveyard. Then we will send our Fallen of Albaz and a Link monster, which is going to be our Bearbrum. Now we're gonna summon our copy of Mirror Jade, and because our Bearbrum went to the graveyard, we can activate its effect. This is going to grab us Revolt, and we are going to put back our Karis on the bottom of the deck.
Man, talk about hand advantage, Jesus.
I know it doesn't look like a ton, but we have a bounce here. This is going to banish any card on our opponent's field because we haven't activated it yet. We have Revolt, which is obviously Tri-Brigade combos. We have a Imperm, a copy of Valor, and it is your discretion if you'd like to set the Crossout Designator, or if you're fearful of something of like Nibiru or something, keep this card in your hand and wait for the end phase to come. And if not, it doesn't matter. We're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 forms of interruption, and then we're going to search a 7th. So just in case you guys don't know what that means, real fast, on our opponent's turn, whenever we feel it necessary, we are going to activate our copy of Revolt. Keep in mind, when you summon back Link monsters from the graveyard, you can only summon ones that were properly summoned. So we'll go Ferrigit, and then we will grab back from our banish pile a copy of Nerval, and then a copy of Fractal. This is going to get us our 2nd copy of Shiraeg. We can go Shiraeg can activate, we can activate our Nerval, and we can also activate the Ferrigit if you want. I think we have enough cards in our hand here. So Nerval is just going to search our copy of Fractal, and then our Omen is going to banish any card on the field non-targeting. And then whenever you want, you can activate your double Dragon Lords, sending your Shiraeg. And we do have at least 2 names banished still, so we can search a DD Crow from our deck to our hand.
It is literally disgusting how many hand traps and how much interruption this deck can just search. And DD Crow this format is pretty staunch.
Actually really insane against the branded deck. And then on top of that, you also have your Mercurier because you still have the Ice Jade Dragon on field. Whenever they activate a monster effect, you just ditch this. Another negate there. And then whenever you activate the Mirror Jade's effect, you can send your Glory Dragon to non-targeting banish another card on the field. You still have Crow, you still have Valor, and as we said before, at the end phase, this is going to get you another Tri-Brigade name, and we still have Imperm as well.
I mean, yeah, if it's not insult to injury, this deck is pretty much dominating your opponent with no problem. I think this is easily the best version of Tri-Brigade yet. This deck is searching more, it's drawing more, it's banishing more, it's doing quite literally more. This is easily the most powerful version of the deck so far, and we love updating it. We love this deck. Brian will continue to test it, so let us know what version of Tri-Brigade you are playing this format, what decks you'd like us to update, and if you're having fun this format. Boy, oh boy, please don't tell me you're playing Scythe. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. We love you, you matter, and we will see you guys on stream tonight and on Twitter because we're doing a giveaway. Bye, team!
Bye, y'all!